Hey, what's going on, folks? Automatic here, and I just wanted to explain some of these Twitter clips that I've been uploading, kind of like a highlight reel, some fun moments of me playing either casual matches or I think actually all these are casual matches. Me just kind of playing Zeku. So the first match we have here is a clear case. I just had to play through a clear case. Why it's very important to learn how to melee their knockdowns for every situation. You know, often I get the responses on Twitter. So your opponent is just supposed to mash the whole time. They're not gonna ever block. Yeah, that happens all the time. And in this case, you know, it's not always to be taken seriously. This actually was in a battle lounge. You can see that it was 3 out of 5 rounds. And this is something I typically do: is first to 5, 3 out of 5 rounds. Super Diamond and Boogie, maybe not his main character, but you know. And okay, sure, maybe it's a cherry pick situation. But let's take a look at this here. Standing roundhouse crush counters the V skill. That's good to go. Let me play this in slow motion. That's the standing hard punch on the normal recovery 3 frame. It's a little bit too slow. Now this knockdown here, if he did a normal recovery, I would not have advantage. I would instead be -2. But since he back recovered, that put me at +3, and now my standing medium punch will hit on the same frame as his standing jab, his 3 frame standing jab. Counter! Was that the best thing I could have done there? Considering stun? Probably, yeah. The medium punch should have counter hits here. Medium punch, confirm this counter hit state, and then go into the medium kick Koku. This was maybe the best thing I could have done. Maybe an EX Koku would have given me more damage for the beginning of the stun, but then I haven't done the calculations on this quite yet. But, I mean, in any case, that led to the stun. Now, I use this particular sequence just because I'm familiar with the knockdown, and I know after this light kick Koku and I dash up twice, my crouching hard punch will melee both knockdowns, both normal and back recovery. And that's exactly what I did here. You can see, you can actually see the frame where she does a standing jab. So that's good. All right, this one is a little bit of a fail vid on my part. I mean, but okay, I'll just let it play through. We'll just see what happens. I was very salty about this moment. And it wasn't the best connection. You can't really be too critical of it. But you know, we all make mistakes, right? Now I gotta guess. I guess wrong. Oh, and it was at this very moment that our young Zeku's life was in grave danger. In fact, I gotta say every single consonant is that the opposite of vowels? The opposite? I have to pronounce fact. In fact, he died. Alright, so let's take a look at what happened. Akuma, maybe I got some pokes in here earlier in the mid-range, kind of neutral thing, maybe an anti-air. I get a read on the jump here, and this is going to hurt a lot because I have 3 bars. There's no way he's going to, you know, I got 3 bars. I'm going to do big damage. So I get to jump in, crouching hard punch, medium kick techie into the EX techie. Okay, so I go for more damage, but I'm not quite in the corner, so I can't follow with V skill. So I'm a little bit confused as to what to do at this moment. So I just kind of, I think I do a light kick Koku. Yeah, it whiffs, so I let it rock, and at this point, I melee with a standing hard punch, kinda. That wasn't like a well-researched standing hard punch. I just kind of did it and threw it out there, and I probably tried to do the OS. And then we got a throw, and we got a jump in. He wasn't ready for it. It was kind of laggy, maybe on his end too. That was the area where where your life flashes before your eyes. Look at. I did the calculations. I was like maybe 13 frames late of my maximum, like my best reaction possible. That's a combination of not being ready and playing online. I was just so late on hitting this, and it resulted in this part here. That was a guess. I guess wrong. He messed up a meteor or something. I don't know. And then right here, let's see if I can get the frame. I actually don't know the button. So you can see I do a standing jab. That's why I can counter it. So if I were playing offline, I would have at least anti-aired it, and that would have at least gave me some breathing room so I wouldn't have to deal with this next situation, which is me actually dying. The next situation was another match. Okay. Alright, so up next, we got this. What happens here? Oh, I remember this. Yeah, that's kind of how it is. I was in troll mode. I've learned to have different settings. I've started to condition myself to either play super solid, like I've played Street Fighter for over a decade. I've been in top 8 evos for other Street Fighter games. I've been in major top 8s for tournaments for you know, like the well-experienced player that I'm supposed to be. And then I have this uninteractive mode, where I just kind of watch and observe, and I don't submit to my urge to do things like whiff punish. And then the mode that I'm in right now is I don't really care about the results. Let's just see what happens. Let's see what my opponent, how they react. And that's what I'm doing here. I'm just hitting standing roundhouse because whatever. I have a lots of resources. And this is exactly the kind of thing I was looking for. Was I looking for his forward fierce? No. It just happened to work that way. My trolling standing roundhouses encouraged him to do that kind of whiff punish. And there is no timing involved with either decision here from both players. I got lucky. That was purely a lucky standing roundhouse that happened to crush counter something. And then I get this big old damage. And the reason why I play Yakety Sax, because I mean that's just a thing that happens so often, but it's also what happens post super. I wasn't prepared for him to survive it, so so I'm just hitting these standing light kicks. Hopefully they because I can't whip punish anything, and then his jump misses. So I got nothing. I don't know what to do. Because I mess up the kind of pseudo shimmy I'm experimenting with. And then, you know, just land crouching short. That's all you do, just land crouching short. Oh, now this clip, the reason why I'm playing Chun-Li's theme is because Chun-Li is clearly one of the best characters in Third Strike. And I've been going with this theme of Zeku is one of the best characters. He's top tier, right? And I'm not even a fan of the phrase top tier, but I know it's something that's easy to interpret. So it's like a widespread. People have a feeling about it, so I'm using it just to kind of push the agenda that Zeku is really good, and I do firmly believe he's a very good character. And so in this clip, I show you know, Ibuki's one of the best characters in this game as well. There's so many best characters in this game. There's like 20 best characters. So okay, I'll just let it play. You'll see what happens. But I want to explain why I've tied it into this theme of hashtag top tier. Right? She's dead. She's dead. Okay, so let me show you what happened here. I did a random DP through his block strings because, you know, it's a kind of a thing. You have advantage. You do the DP and excuse me, and you have advantage. I mean, they have advantage, so you do an invincible. Blah 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 blah. Right? So I do that again. Health is almost at 100%, maybe like 95. Right? Off of this random DP, I get some space. Everything is all good. I fish for a crush counter with that standing roundhouse. I go back a little bit, and I'm trying to experiment with playing a little bit defensively. So my plan here was to go to Young Zeku and start doing Light Punch Bushincho to build up my meter, and just let my opponent just continue to analyze how people behave in the neutral, right? But that's not what happened. So I did... Let me slow it down a little bit and play this again. So you can see I switch... But as I'm switching, I noticed that she did standing roundhouse. So I am at the mercy of the recovery of the stance change. But my reactions tell me, sweep the roundhouse. But I have to wait. I have to wait for this to finish before I can do that. So it's making my roundhouse come out super late. So I actually did not whiff punish this. What happened is my opponent backdashed, and that crush countered. So this accidental situation, from where she was at, one random DP led to all the set play. Let me go ahead and explain everything that happened here. So this flip here may have looked deceiving. He may have either mashed the jab, which I think, well, I didn't get a counter, so I don't know what happened. He may have either thought I was going to land behind him or was going to grab, which in that case you should duck, because I as far as I know, you can't accomplish that standing frame grab with the Zeku Bushin flip. I've tried a few scenarios. I haven't thoroughly researched it yet, but I don't think it's there. But in any case, you can crouch here, and this is not going to hit you. You can crouch block. This is the idea here. So maybe he thought I was going to be behind him, or I don't have an explanation. So that hits. I do the standing medium kick, standing medium punch, light kick techie. Now this standing medium kick, I get some questions. Why did you do this instead of... Because you can do light kick techie here. You can do light kick techie, and this will do a little bit more damage. But the reason why I do that is because it frame kills to when I dash up here. This crouching hard punch would meaty the normal and the back recovery. So my opponent stays on the ground. But my next thing that I'm experimenting with is the light punch Bushin flip immediately after. Now this will give me the situation where I can grab them again, and I'm going to tell you a little secret. If she does her EX DP, it'll go over here somewhere. Okay, maybe that's an exaggeration, but she can she won't hit me with the EX DP. She can't even if she does back medium punch to try to anti-air me, I can meaty that with with the kick portion. I can even grab her out of her medium punch. So this is almost, it's as if it's a meaty grab or a hit here. So you don't want to do anything. You want to crouch. You want to crouch, and if I grab, maybe punish the recovery when I land. But if you crouch and I hit the kick option, I just have advantage on block. So here, right here, I'm at +2. This is a +2 situation after I dash up after the throw. I think it's plus. It has to be +19. So my dash is 17 frames. When I dash up, that leaves 2 more frames. I'm at a +2 advantage. My crouching jab is 4 frames. So this will counter hit if my opponent mashes a 3 frame. So yeah, and that actually did not combo. So if my opponent blocked my crouching jab and then hit standing light punch, he would have counter hit my standing medium punch. Crouching jab to standing medium punch is actually not a real block string against 3-frame characters. So yeah, I don't know what exactly happened here. Maybe it was an attempt to jump away or something like that. I don't know. Beats me. In any case, top tier Zeku. All right, we got about 3 more clips, and this is really fun for me. So this clip right here, just look at Karen's life. I remember what happened here. Just look at her health. Notice that I had 1 bar at the beginning of this. And if I recall correctly, the person that I was playing mentioned that it was they were from Chile. And the connection wasn't amazing. Man, she's dead already. The connection wasn't amazing, but you can still see the power of just Zeku if he gets the right hits, if he makes the right choices, if I'm able to get my opponent thinking about each knockdown, and I confirm the right hits, their life melts. It's like really not a whole lot more to explain to this clip. I could go over the knockdowns a little bit, but the fact is, I got a few good hits. That was I think a dash up, right? And again, I gotta play the Yun theme because Yun is top tier and third strike. So there's a dash up, maybe a crouching medium punch. I do my standing medium punch in neutral. I kind of react to the dash, but I may have just been throwing it out there because it's not likely for opponents to punish my standing medium punch. So in that case, what I'm really confirming is this counter hit state, and then I can go into the medium punch again, and then go into EX Teki. This knockdown is great. If I dash up twice, I'm +2 in the normal recovery, +7 on the back recovery. But what I do instead now is, because I felt like at this point I have established that I have that meaty there. I think I dash up. No, I actually do the knockdown there. I think it's a knockdown. This one here, I go into the Bushin flip immediately. And this Bushin flip, if I choose the punch option, that'll cover the normal recovery. It'll hit like this. If I do the kick option, it'll cover the back recovery. So I have a way to deal with both. And it seems that it was deceiving enough that it actually just hit. It wasn't just a meaty situation. And that's it. That's all she wrote. That's her health. Okay, now this clip here shows you the power of the... let me see. Did I actually have V-Trigger when this started? Okay, I did. Alright, this is a clear-cut case of a powerful tool that Zeku has that people aren't prepared for in the matchup. Just when you see this, guard your feet. Be on guard and block low. Because slide into V... I mean, some people neutral jump, which is pretty good. But you gotta deal with it. You have to... That's 4 slides. 4th one blocked. You can do another one, and then I cancel it. I did this on purpose. I just wanted to see, like, how many can I get away with? Where was his life initially? Oh, maybe like 70-ish%. And I'm just waiting. I'm waiting. When I'm waiting, I'm really looking for them to neutral jump and see if they are aware. And then if enough time passes, then I'm convinced that they are not really aware of the crouching roundhouse and the activation. Let's see, one, I don't really do a good setup here. I was just trying to get corner position. You can actually DP that Bushin flip there. Yep, you gotta be careful. Now, what you can do after that slide into the Idante, if I leave a gap in between that, you can, as can EXDP between it. But yeah, that slide in the activation is ridiculous. Oh, and this clip, very recent. This poor Nash player, he didn't rematch me after this happened. Okay. So jump back jab, and the reason why I did jump back jab there instead of like a hard kick Koku or maybe a standing jab, because I wasn't sure if he jumped at me or if he did the flip instead. So jump back jab is going to cover both of those options, so I was okay with just accepting what happened. So of course they do the kick there, and then there's the standing jab. Well, let me just play it. Let me just play it through. We'll talk about we'll talk about this after you see it. Where's his life? Where's his life? That's a set play. That is what you call set play. There was one thing that involved well, maybe two things, but this standing jab here, this is what involved my reactions. Besides the hit confirm, right? The rest of it, and you know, there's a bit of participation on my opponent's end of not being aware, not blocking, trying to force. We'll put it that way. He's trying to force his will on what I'm doing. And that standing jab, his life is here, but this standing jab is making his life go beyond beyond the timer count, right? So I dash under him, standing medium punch, confirm. I think it didn't look like I counter hit him with the standing medium punch, so he probably didn't know that I would be on that side. And then from there, this knockdown usually isn't very good in terms of the back recovery. But since he's already in the corner, I'm in range of, you know, both knockdowns. Back recovery isn't going to position him anywhere further away. So this should be a normal recovery because my standing hard punch should meaty this. And then that crush counters. Now this is a very special thing that I did here. And this is like a subtle, like I included this in the Twitter, but I don't really have time to explain it, and I don't think it's really in my best interest to go into detail. This is the option select. When I'm playing people, I'm specifically doing it too, just to condition myself to get better at it. But this what happens here. If he blocked my standing hard punch, I would have gone into the stance change instead. This only activates on crush counter, and I have a full video. Maybe I'll put the link below. How to do this. And you can actually do the boost. You can option select the boost and flip, and you can option select the super too with that standing hard punch. It's crazy. That was the true turning point in finding this tech. That was a true turning point where I'm like, this character is ridiculous because this knockdown is even more crazy. I can't. Okay, let me just. Okay, so in the corner. Oh, we talk about this. This is the light kick Koku. This knockdown here, you can do just the same thing. You can dash up twice and crouching hard punch, and that crouching hard punch will cover normal land back recovery. It's amazing. That crouching hard punch is +2 on block, and it can crush counter. You get ambiguous left right grabs off of it. You can confirm it to more damage if you need it. It's crazy. It's so good. So when you're in the corner, this light kick Koku hits in the projectile state, so you can actually do the EXDP to add on a little bit more damage. Honestly, I wouldn't suggest it. It's not really that relevant. I think it's 50 more damage, something like that. And it also doesn't contribute towards stun, interestingly enough. Even, I think some of the EX techies, if you juggle them, the projectile part of it, they don't give you any stun. So you can see no stun happen there. So I actually did research the situation, maybe like a day before or during it. And this is actually frame kills, this standing light kick. Frame kills to that crouching hard punch where it meets normal and back recovery. So I'm really just testing the waters and see if I can just keep doing the things that I researched. So crouching hard punch. He, of course, hit his standing jab. That crush counter was really not even needed. And again, notice I'm almost at a full V trigger bar. And I'm at like above 90% health. This is so ridiculous. So, and now I have even more because I ended up with the V skill. And this is kind of a tick grab setup. I could have confirmed this into standing medium punch, but I somehow suspected that he would block at the very last moments of his last breath of life. He might block, but that was not the case. And this actually counter hit him. Yeah, that's +3 on block. You're not in range for a throw, but you can still, since you have so much advantage and your standing medium punch will counter hit them, you can come off of that. It gives them a reason to not really mash in this situation. So they might suspect a throw, in which case that's why I kind of backed up and I did crouching hard punch, which did work. It did work out the way I intended it to, but I could have just killed him. I could have just killed him off the standing light punch. So there's a couple things to note about this crouching hard punch. The reason why I'm using crouching hard punch over like standing hard punch. And maybe even crouching medium punch. Standing hard punch is slower than crouching medium punch, or crouching hard punch, excuse me. Standing medium punch is slower. It has a little bit more range, and it's safe on block. Crouching hard punch actually is not safe on block. It's -5. But this is more likely to hit their whiff animation. So that's something I should practice more, is maybe using the standing hard punch. But you do have to walk back, so it's adding more time. So where I had to use something that's faster, and crouching medium punch might not be in range. I have to do more like muscle memory research on that front. But yeah, that's it. Those are the Twitter clips that I've been uploading. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm sure you see the how do you say the self advertisement here. And yeah, that's it for now. I hope you learned something. I'm automatic.